We are happy to announce the release of our latest book, Overcoming Mediocrity, Epic Women. This book features 17 women who know what it's like to disrupt the status quo and overcome challenges that, at the time, seemed impossible to face. Yet they did. They were epic. And they're sharing their stories of courage, strength, and perseverance with you today. Plus, this incredible book also includes free gift downloads and buckets of wisdom as these experts share tips on how they've become successful in impacting the world in such a powerful way. Tips you can apply to your life today. Visit ombook.org to get your very own copy.
Hey there, I am Christie Ruffino, former broke single mom turned CEO of 2 six-figure businesses and best-selling author with 15 books. But it wasn't always like this. Not long ago, I was a hot mess. Yes, I did a lot of things right, but mostly I was throwing spaghetti on the wall to see what would stick. Fast forward past many failed attempts and a few incredible victories, I not only get to share what I've learned along the way, I get to bring together top influencers as they share their empowering stories, insider secrets, and valuable resources that can be used right now to step into your power. So, if you're an ambitious entrepreneur, or possibly one in the making, and you're looking to create a business and life that lights you up, well then you're in the right place. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to today. I'm so excited. This is our third episode in a series where I have the honor of sharing with you a group of incredible women. And today I have 5 with you. They are part of our Overcoming Mediocrity Epic Women series. And the first woman I'm going to introduce you today is to Sherry Mills. Well, welcome, Sherry. I'm excited to have you on the show today.
Thank you, Christy. I love having you. I love being here. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, we're all about love, aren't we?
Yes, that's right.
All right. So I have had the pleasure to get to know you over the last few months, and you have an incredible story, and it has been instrumental in fueling what you're doing now. It's fueling your purpose. But the audience doesn't know anything about your story. So share a little bit about your story.
Okay. Well, thank you, Christy. I spent my career being a busy sales executive all my life and not taking care of myself. And in that journey, I discovered I fell into all sorts of disease states and couldn't lose weight and fibromyalgia, arthritis, everything. I lived in so much pain, and I flipped the switch on it a few years ago that changed my life. And once I discovered the magic sauce, so to speak, I decided to go back to functional medicine school so I in turn can help others, because life and vitality and being able now to focus on what I want to do in my life, the traveling, the adventures and such, that was not an option for me before. So I am fueled by my passion to help others succeed in life with vitality and a drive to enjoy the rest of their time on our planet.
Yeah. And, learning about the different things that you struggled with before and seeing that or hearing about that and seeing you now, it's an incredible transformation.
Oh, it is. I'm a totally different person than I was even 3.5 years ago. It's insane.
Yeah. And then I've also heard a few success stories of you working with your clients and taking them from what they were struggling with and then bringing them to the other side. So I just love seeing cases like this where women followed their purpose and they were able to build a business helping others. So good, kudos to you.
Thank you.
And you
It's
have
been a wonderful journey.
yeah, and a journey that you're still on. You got the best is yet to come, I like to say.
Absolutely.
And you have a great gift that you're sharing with the not only the audience today, but more importantly, the readers of the book. So if you are listening, of course, you can connect with all of the authors in the show notes, but we also want you to buy their book. So connect with whichever author you resonate with, because not only will you get their free gift, but you'll get all of them. And so what is the free gift that you are sharing in the book, Sherry?
So I'm sharing my new anti-inflammatory guide and recipe book. It explains how important it is to have the proper nutritional intake daily and what can happen if you don't pay attention to your body and make appropriate lifestyle decisions, right? And adjustments in your life. It even includes some fun and easy recipes to boost your immune system, stave off the inflammation that's causing you chronic pain and illness. So many people don't understand by not hearing and listening to our bodies what it can do to us and how far down the rabbit hole of health we can go. So I hope it helps many people out there.
Oh, that's awesome. So Sherry, you are a neighbor here in Florida. And
Yes, I am.
I get to introduce the next guest, and she is a neighbor from where I used to live. And so Dr. Susie Warden, I met her, actually, I don't think we may have met once, Dr. Susie, refresh my memory, like in person at some networking event years ago, didn't we?
I think we probably did.
Something with Dr. or with Moira, something, I'm not sure. But I've seen you in a lot of things. Back when I was home, I saw a lot of the things on social media that you were doing with your clients. And I was really pleased when we reconnected and you said that you wanted to be in this next book. And I got to know you, I got to know your story. And I just love the passion that you have now and the mission that you're following. So share with the audience today, what is your story?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Christy. I think sometimes in life we go along and we think that, setting goals and working hard and, always being positive is just the way life's going to go until it doesn't. And are you prepared? Are you prepared to take on a challenge? Well, that's kind of what my story is my journey. I have 5 kids. They're all boys. I went to chiropractic school with 2, and actually not with, but they were alive at that point. And so my husband and I moved to Illinois from Florida. God knows why, but it was a great place to raise kids. So what we did was we looked at the business of chiropractic and actually helping people and helping them naturally and infusing them with positivity. And at the same time, raising our family, having more kids, having more goals, helping more people. And I had 3 practices at one time until something happened. So my story is as this happened, I knew I was right and I kept moving forward. And every day I would have to do this certain thing to get through the day and to treat my patients and actually deal with this challenge that I was faced with. So it was about a 7-year process. And at the end of it, I thought, can I do this anymore? Can I really come every day with a smile on my face? I'm kind of tired. And do I want to risk this happening again and continuing my passion to help people? And a lot of people told me, plus my coach said, you can't quit. And I said to myself, I kind of want to, but that would have been the easy way. So my story is about any sort of challenge that we are faced with, which everybody is. We have a choice. Do we want to let that challenge get us down and never come up again? Or do we do this certain thing, because I'm a chiropractor, which is a hint, do we do this in order to get through it and be more positive? Because we know that if we're more positive, we're going to get more positive back and we're going to be able to help more people. So my story is about that, what I did and how I overcame and got through this horrendous part of my life. But I feel like it was a stepping stone, and absolutely it was, because it really made me look at how strong we really are. And if we do these certain things every single day, they're not hard, but you just have to be consistent to do these things. and life can go on and you can achieve anything that you can actually perceive. So you're going to ask me what my gift is. So I'm going to say my gift is a checklist of what we should be doing daily. What is it that we should be doing every day? You can print it out, you can check it off. Also, I have videos with it that show how to do these things. So it's kind of how we do what we do. And in my profession, it's chiropractic. So it has something to do with how you stand and how you present yourself. So thank you so much, Sherry. I'm so glad you're doing this because I've always kind of thought that I wanted to get my story out, but I didn't know how. So I appreciate all that you've done. You've helped me with this, and I'm looking forward to what's in the future.
Yeah. Well, I did not realize that it went 7 years. Like, I heard about your story and it was crazy, the challenge that you faced and overcame. But I guess I never realized it went on for 7 years.
Yep. Yep. It did.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
Wow. Yeah, we're not going to give away what that is. And we're not going to give away her secret either, but you
Nope.
will learn all about it when you read her story and you get her gift. And I want to thank you, Dr. Susie, for
Thank you so much.
saying yes. All right. So from Florida to Illinois, now to Sweden, I have the pleasure of introducing everybody to Georgiana Dannett. Welcome, Georgiana.
Thank you, Christie.
So you have an incredible story as well. Can you share that with our audience?
Yes, for me, the story is normal because I lived it. I didn't thought of it as being extraordinary in any manner. I lived half of my life in a dictatorship where you were not safe if you thought independently. There was poverty. I had periods of time when I was eating rotten tomatoes and I had to use a hammer to break the bread so that I can bite and not break my teeth. And also, well, for me, what it affected me the most and determined me to do something to change it was that anything related to self-development or spiritual life, spirituality, it was forbidden. So you could end up in jail for doing that. So I've decided that that's my freedom and nobody can take it away from me. And therefore, I decided that I want to share it with as many people as possible. So nobody will have to go through what I went through in my teens, in my first half part of my life. So I started with that, and I have been doing self-development coaching classes, online courses for 34 years in 15 countries, over 50 cities, probably by now. I didn't check, but there were over 50. So that was what determined me to help other people come into contact with the spiritual dimension of their life, being myself forbidden to do that in my own country, and also with the risk of ending up in jail if I did. So I was almost ending up in jail.
Yeah, all I can say is wow, right? Because we all have stories, right? But to be in a position where just the simple action of bettering our lives, right? Learning and going through some sort of a personal development journey could put us in jail. And then you're going one step further and you're helping other people. And for 35 years, I mean, it's maybe now is a little different, but 35 years ago, I'm sure that was really risky for you.
It was the first book that I wrote. I was 21 when I wrote it, a book about women's astrology, helping women. I was almost ended up in jail because of it, because I wrote the book.
Wow. I don't know anybody else that could say, I'm not writing my book because I might end up in jail. And you did it anyways. And you were facing that challenge and you didn't let that stop you. So holy cow.
Yeah, if anybody is attempting at my freedom, well, I will have to prove them wrong.
Good for you. What is the gift that you're sharing when people buy your book?
It's a free webinar called Serene Living, which is teaching in very simple steps how to discover the secret of stress so you can immediately fix it, how to relax and de-stress right away with very simple methods. Assessing the level of your stress, it's also important, but also the most important in the free webinar is understanding the need for stress elimination. So uprooting the stress and not just stress management, which means alleviating it.
Mm, okay. Wow, that's so good. Well, Georgiana, I want to thank you. I know we're in a different time zone, much different time zone, and I appreciate you being here with us today. If anybody wants to connect with Georgiana, again, her contact information will be in the show notes and you can reach out to her. I know she'd love to sign an autographed copy of her book. And you have quite a few books. How many books do you have now in all?
With this one, it will be 6.
6. Wow. That is so cool. Well, thank you, Georgiana.
Thank you so much.
You know what I learned about story? No matter how confident you are or how scared you are about sharing your story, you're never going to realize the power your story has on others until you share it. Hi, my name is Christie Ruffino, and I've been helping women and a few men share their stories for almost 12 years. And what I'm so excited about is now I've taken my proven formula and combined it with AI. And I have a workshop coming up in just a few weeks that's going to walk you step by step to writing your signature story. So whether you just want to share your story to leave a bigger legacy in the world, or you want to leverage it to build your business brand, attract your ideal clients, and use it as your powerful message in the world, join me for my story writing workshop, where I am going to really, it's a hands-on 4-hour experience where you're going to walk away with your story written. As long as you bring your computer, an open mind, and a dedication to getting your story out in the world, we're going to make it happen. Just go to activatemystory.com to get your tickets today. All right. Well, next, I have the pleasure of letting you all meet Barb Gabaldon. Welcome, Barb. Oh, we're muted. Hold on a minute. Hang on, folks. We've got to get Barb unmuted. There we go. Welcome, Barb. Here you are.
Hi, Christy. Thanks so much. It's such an honor to be here. And I just appreciate you and your team. And my goodness, these women, these epic women, what fabulous, amazing, empowering, and inspiring stories. I'm looking forward to reading each and every story in this amazing book coming out, which the invitation, Christy, honestly just came at such a pivotal time. I just can't thank you enough. I had my own life spared at the time through some major health challenges and family tragic loss. And I just knew I'd been spared for a greater purpose. And I've known for decades, I've had articles printed and published and poetry published, but I've always known there was more. And you just helped really propel me forward out of my fear. and so here I am. I'm a woman of faith, Christy, as you know, and that's first and foremost. Of course, I'm a mother and a nana. I have 6 grandchildren and 2 great grandchildren. So it's never too late. We're never too old to keep learning and growing and sharing and being productive, overcoming. The title of my chapter in the book is actually Storms of Adversity, The Quest for Breakthrough. And I really just want to help others authentically use their own life storms to break through to truest dreams and goals. We all have life storms. We all have stories. And some are just more tragic than others. Some we bring about by our own choices, and some we have absolutely no control over, as we have all, especially recently, discovered. So I start my chapter in 2007, 2008, in the middle of the global financial crisis. And I had just come back from a 9-country ministry and humanitarian tour over in Europe and throughout Africa, and learned that my entire life savings was gone. And I was left to start over back in the United States. And, when you've gone to countries like Ghana and Tanzania, Kenya, Ethiopia, Nigeria, I was held by guards in Nigeria for 3 days. You realize poverty on a level and life on a level that you don't experience here. I mean, we see it on television, but it's so different than when you're in the trench and in the villages and, even at the stores, and you see it, especially with the children. And so my whole platform there was anti-child slavery. And of course, back in 2000, 2007, 2008, nobody really wanted to believe it was real. Now we have, movies like The Sound of Freedom, which, ladies, if you haven't seen, or audience, if you haven't seen, you need to see it. It's real. It's happening. We're responsible for it in our society. But anyways, I was left to rebuild and find gratitude in the midst of losing everything. But I had gained so much from having just come back to the US. And I just think it's important that we don't lose sight of our real feelings. I mean, I was angry, I was disappointed, I was disillusioned, but that we tap into those feelings enough to allow ourselves permission to feel them, and then pick ourselves back up by the bootstraps, right? And say, okay, what am I going to do with this? Because life storms happen to all of us. And so I did go on to start college in my 50s. I always wanted to get a degree. I'm in my final course for my master's as we speak. And that was just always a lifelong dream that I couldn't accomplish and didn't have the opportunity to accomplish because of family circumstances back when I was a teen. And so coming through that, and then the pandemic recently, where my daughter fought for her life on life support for 55 days. She's come through miraculously. And then my own health challenges with the virus and the lifelong challenges that I have. I love hearing these functional medicine and more homeopathic type stories, because I've attested to that and held on to that since the early 70s, when everybody thought you were really whacked. If you were taking a supplement, you were, some San Francisco. I grew up in the Bay Area, so you were some San Francisco guru or something. But anyways, nonetheless, I just want to help everyone come through with some strategies that I've learned to overcome tragedy and adversity, and really help them with this workbook. I've got a Quest for Breakthrough workbook. That's my free gift, and help them to look at what's holding them back, and then come up with a plan and some strategies on how to overcome and reach their highest destiny. And it really doesn't matter how difficult or tragic our circumstances are, or how young or old, obviously, but there is always hope. And we can authentically break through. And together, I really believe cultivating grace and gratitude for a higher purpose and a deeper fulfillment in life is what we all deserve and can achieve for.
Absolutely. Wow. Thank you so much, Barb. Yeah, you have an incredible story. And since you said yes to being in our project, I know the journey has continued. So I know you've still faced some challenges, but you pushed through, and you have a really, really big heart and a strong purpose to help other people. And, you're doing that. So I am blessed to know you.
Thank you so much, Christie. I'm blessed to know all of you.
All right. Well, next, I would say last but not least, we have Ruby. And honestly, that's pretty appropriate. I didn't actually plan to have her last in our series, but she's one of the last authors that joined our project. And that was just a few weeks ago. So in a few, definitely under a month, in a few weeks' time, she not only wrapped her head around the concept of sharing her story, but she put it together in an amazing way. She put together some amazing strategies and a great resource for our audience to share. But I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to let Ruby, first of all, I want to commend you for pulling this all together in a short time, but it's because you have a big purpose too. And so share with the audience a little bit about your story, and then feel free to share the resource that you're going to provide.
Thank you so much, Christy. I'm just so happy to be here and thrilled to be included and invited into this project, and just listening to the stories today. It's just amazing, the struggles we've gone through. But my struggle was with alcohol and food addiction. And I'm in my 50s. I live in Northern California, wine country, worked in the wine industry in a corporate job for 20 years. And it just kind of snuck up on me. There's like accelerator events that I think happen in people's lives. Like I had a divorce, custody battle, home foreclosure, empty nest, all these things. And I just coped with life by wanting to numb. And I gained a lot of weight as well. And then I had a weight loss surgery. This is a little bit of my story. And then it turned into an alcohol addiction. And you're not alone. I guess what I want to say, and why I'm so purposefully driven in this, is I got to such addiction is like, it's hard to explain if you haven't experienced it, but you're in this deep, dark kind of hole, and it's so hard to see the light. And I read, what was my inspiration is, I read a book by Annie Grace called This Naked Mind, and it looks at this addiction in a whole new way. It's kind of a new paradigm where, our culture has been based on AA, which is kind of shame based, and, alcohol gets this free pass in our society. But I got so angry. I think part of my passion is I just want people to be aware. And so I became a This Naked Mind certified coach. I've now helped hundreds of people. My solutions work. Basically, it's based on science, grace, and awareness and curiosity. And I just don't want anybody to be stuck in that cycle of addiction. And I did create a freebie, something for you guys. So I thought the first step, if you guys are listening, the first thing might be to have a wine-free weekend. So I created a guide with 5 really powerful steps that you can have a wine-free weekend like this weekend. And you also, after you kind of try that, that's like dipping your toe in and seeing what it's like. And I have a whole roadmap where you would then maybe take 7 days, like a week alcohol free, then maybe a 30-day challenge. Then I have a 90-day program. You could be with me for a whole year. But the next step after the wine-free weekend freebie would be to have like a 15-minute discovery call with me, take an assessment, and I can create a whole program. Basically, I just want to share this message, and I want alcohol to be small and irrelevant if it's something that's become a problem for you, because this is maybe it's the elephant in the room here. For me, it was my big domino to weight loss, changing my careers, improving my relationships, getting better sleep. I got my health back. It all stemmed on getting alcohol free, like everything. So that's what I want to say.
Yeah, so that's great. What's funny is when we had our first conversation and you shared with me how this is so different than the traditional paths, like what people have heard about and what people have done over the years at work. Sometimes don't work. I don't, I don't have personal experience from that perspective. I have it from the other side. But then what this process and how it works and why it's so much more successful from what I understand. And it was like to me, it was very eye-opening. And I even texted you, we had this conversation. And then for the next 3 days, on my Facebook feed, I kept seeing ads for This Naked Mind, which is the program that you're certified in. So I know they say that, our phones can't listen to us, but that is one of the cases where I think my phone was listening to me, and then Facebook started showing me all these ads, and then I kept seeing more and more about it. And I'm excited also that I'm on this journey with you to help people become more aware of alternate options.
Yes, there's more options. What I start with is you don't stop the behavior first. It's not about like white knuckling it, stopping. It's about learning with grace and compassion, awareness, curiosity, and then you choose when you want to try an alcohol-free day. See if you like it. It's all about how you want to feel. So
Right.
habit change now is about how do you want to feel?
And it's in the building your toolbox, right? So you become stronger than it.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Awesome. Well, I want to thank you, Ruby. I want to thank all of you for being on the show today and coordinating your schedule so we could all be together at the same time and getting your stories written and being brave, right? Being brave to be vulnerable, because that's really a big piece to this. It's not easy to share our stories because we have so many stories going in our head about what people think about us by hearing them, but you guys didn't let that stop you. You all said yes. And so hats off to all of you ladies. All right. Well, thanks everybody for being with us in this 3-part series of the Overcoming Mediocrity Epic Women book. If you have not listened to the last 2 shows, please tune in, because not only were these 5 women today amazing, but the other women are just as amazing. And of course, if you want to buy the book and read these incredible stories, you can go to our website at overcomingmediocrity.org, connect with any of the authors, and they'll be happy to sign an autographed copy and send it your way. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. And of course, if you like our show, please go to whatever platform you listen and show us some love, because we love bringing great guests to the podcast. And the best way for us to continue getting amazing guests is to make sure our show is supported by our fans. So thanks, everybody. And of course, thank you, Epic Women.
Thanks for listening to the Mastery Unleashed podcast, where we believe that everyone can have the business and life of their dreams by turning their mess into their greatest message and following their purpose to help the people who need their newfound wisdom and resources. To learn more, visit masteryunleashedpodcast.com. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review to this show.